How would you describe yourself? Fitness influencer, would like, vagabond. Like if someone were talking about you in third party, I said, "Are you friends with Fonz?" And they said, "Who's that?" How would you describe yourself? Are
Mm,
you an entrepreneur? Are you a fitness influencer?
yeah. Um, I feel like my identity changes every 6 months nowadays. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, and it has for the past 4 years too. I think I went from military to now he's a traveler to oh he's just a bodybuilder and then oh he's a runner and then um I don't know now I would say or at least what I would like to be perceived as is this active lifestyle, self improvement, radiating happiness and free will type of person, but also now an entrepreneur, a businessman, a hustler, to be frank. So I would say that's what I would like to be known as.
Would you say you're the happiest you've ever been right now? Rate
Uh,
rate rate your happiness 1 to 10. Your happiness, your fulfillment.
that's a good one. That's a good one. Um, I mean, I think I'm like a 8 right now. Last summer, it was pretty high because like I just moved to Austin. I was we just started Raw Dog. Things were just moving. I was gaining 100K on Instagram every single month. I was like it literally in the midst of blowing up and everything was so new. Like every day was like I wanted to be awake. I didn't even want to go to sleep because I just wanted more life. But then I went into some hardships like this past winter and then now I'm finally back up again. But now it's at more like a mature level of happiness, I guess. I think last summer it was a very like quick rise where I was like,
Exciting.
yeah, it was a dopamine rush, yeah. But now it's like I'm happy, but it's a constant happy, not like a I'm happy, and then like I would get a drop.
Yeah.
Now I'm like chilling.
Nice.
But yeah, it's a little 8.
Well, for everybody listening or watching that maybe like doesn't know your content too well, let's recap. Let's recap. I feel like a lot's happened in the past 2 to 3 years of your life. So, first you were just to give everyone some
Mhm.
background. First you were in the military, and why'd you join the military?
Um, so I'm the youngest of 4 brothers. I mean, 4 of us total, but I have 3 older brothers. Um, I grew up in the desert in SoCal, so it's funny. I tell people here, they're like, "Oh, where are you from?" I was like, "Oh, I moved from Virginia, but I'm from California, but I haven't lived there in 6 years, and but I'm from the desert. I'm not from LA. I'm not from San Fran. Like, so it's a different vibe because people think like, oh, California, yeah, you're a surfer guy, blah blah. Like, dude, I live 3 hours away. I never went surfing. But long story short, I think with a bigger family, and I would say we were like middle class, maybe a little lower, and I did like we just didn't have money for college, and like me and my brothers knew that. Growing up, it was like if you're going to college, you're kind of on your own, and like we all knew like we didn't want to put it on our parents to even put it on them to put it through college because like my parents would do anything for us and I'm sure that they would if I really wanted to, but then I'm putting my parents in debt or putting them through the shit or I'm gonna have debt. And then so my second oldest brother went in the Coast Guard and I saw his life. I saw him pack up and move to Seattle and get his own apartment with a snap of his fingers. And being 15, 16, I was like, damn, like, well, I want that too. And I was grinding, I was playing baseball, and I was trying to make that like my jazz. But I went to a small school. I mean, we won state in California
For football?
baseball.
Mm.
So, I mean, we were good, but I don't know. I just still college just wasn't a thought.
Yeah.
I actually signed up when I was right when I turned 17. I talked to the
Mm.
recruiter when I was 16.
So you were ready
So,
to get in there.
oh, I knew I was going in. Yeah,
Really?
I like it was that or bust. It was that or nothing for me. Like I remember literally during workouts, I was like to like motivate me. I was like, if I can't hit 405 on deadlift, you're not making it through boot camp. You're not
Mm.
going into the Coast Guard. And then, anyways, I don't know. That was my motivation. But yeah, seeing my brother succeed and just flip with the switch. Like he went from this boy to this man. Like I remember crying at his boot camp and like as a 16-year-old, it's like, all right, why the fuck are you crying at your brother's boot camp? But it's like I saw my brother's eyes just like change, like him being in uniform, him marching, him being a man. And I was like, I want to be a man. I want to have that respect. My whole family respected him. My parents respected him for taking that leap.
So you felt like it was like a challenge you had to go through to become a new version of yourself, to level up in life.
Yeah. I mean,
Do you feel like it did that?
oh, definitely. Like it completely changed me for the better. Um, if I didn't do that, I think my growth would have been delayed.
Hmm.
I mean, I was one of maybe 3 in my whole school to go in the military. I mean, I graduated with 95 people, but so it was very like rare. Like everyone in the whole school was like, "Oh, Ian's going to the military." Like it was kind of like a well-known thing, and all my friends just went to college. But funny enough, like I remember I went to boot camp. I came out, and like 2 out of my 4 friends dropped out of college by the 2 months I was in boot camp,
Hmm.
and yeah, and the whole time in boot camp, I was like, "Fuck, I fucked up." Like, one of my buddies is going to NAU, and then another one's going to like Cal Baptist, and another one's playing basketball up in Indiana. And I was like, "Damn, like they're gonna be living, and I'm stuck in fucking New Jersey getting my ass beat, and now I'm about to go live in Northern California in the middle of nowhere. It's a place called Humboldt. I don't know if you know because you're from
Yeah.
NorCal.
Yeah. I didn't know there was military bases up there or anything though.
Yeah, well, Coast Guard.
Oh, okay.
So it's like we just have stations that are just desolate. But yeah, I thought I fucked up at first for sure. And then over time, I was like, wait, he dropped out. He went back home. He's, going online classes now. And then COVID also happened. So that also helped me too. Because everyone went to online. And I was like, oh, I still got a paycheck every single month. I'm chilling. And that's safe. So
You're also a good
worked out.
saver, I've noticed.
Yeah.
You're a really good saver. I remember when I first met you, like, 2 years ago when I first moved here, you had all this money saved up. You're very, I would say, frugal with your spending, right? Like you have the ability, you make good money, you're on social media, you have these businesses, like you could be flexing like a lot of the other people on social media, but I feel like you're.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's funny because growing up, when I first started to get money, my first girlfriend and all my friends in high school called me Mr. Krabs because I was so fucking cheap. But like it actually used to be bad though. Like I'm frugal now, and I was frugal then, but it was kind of bad where it was like I remember in my first station in Northern California, we had a Costco 25 minutes away, but I wouldn't go because it's like, I'm not going to get 25 minutes away for groceries. That's gas. That's probably $5 in gas. I'm not going over there. And I would just walk across the street to the grocery store. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like my family is very frugal. My dad, like I would see him every Tuesday doing bills, doing budgeting. And now like I'm making money and I'm never sitting down and being like writing on a piece of paper like all my budgets. I'm just like, yeah, I mean, I got enough money for that, so we're chilling. But like growing up, my dad was like down to the last dime, doing budgeting. So I saw that, and like growing up, I was always like, all right, like my dad made us listen to Dave Ramsey in the car to school on road trips. So it's like inherently, I got Dave Ramsey in my fucking head.
Do you think that now that you're, and we can get into this more in a second, now that you're in more of like the entrepreneur world, you're working on multiple businesses, and we'll talk about like your role in a little bit. Do you feel like you've like changed how your view of money is now? Because I feel like once you start your own business and once you start scaling, it's very hard to be frugal and scale a business because you're constantly taking risks and you're experimenting with things.
Yeah, I mean, you fucking know too, but yeah, you can't be frugal within reason in a business. Like, there's gonna be times where like, fuck, we kind of got to spend this $40K on this, and you're like, in the back of your head, you're like, $40K, like I can't be spending this amount of money on this whatever.
And it could totally be a waste. It's like a huge risk.
It's a huge risk, but like, I've learned you got to pay to play.
Yep.
It's as simple as that. So, I mean, I think just trusting in your vision, in your work, that I'm going to multiply this $30K investment or risk into $100K in a couple of months. I think that in business, always having the intention of multiplying your funds, your investments when making risks. So, like for example, when I was doing Raw Dog, we had a merch drop and we had like virtually no money. We made some money off of sponsorships, but we wanted to multiply that into doing merchandise because we were blowing up. We were like, we need to capitalize on this. And I remember that we only had like 20K from sponsors, 2 sponsors. And that was after dividing up some money because everyone needed money. And we had to pay 35K to get this merchandise. And so we were short 15. So I was like, and the boys didn't have enough money to put their own funds. So I was like, all right, I have to throw my 15K. And this is like, I'm only a 22-year-old. Like I just got out of the military and I'm like, fuck, 15K, like throwing in my own. But I was like, okay, I know if I throw this money in, we're going to make 80K. And we sold out in an hour, made all my money back, paid myself, easy. But like, I don't know. I feel like most people wouldn't be like, all right, I'm going to throw my own money when I have 3 other business partners, risk like that. Or like with my new Frozen One protein, we're getting into a new distributor. So like, we're going to be multiplying our fulfillment. So we're going from like 1,800 a week to, tentative, but we want to start doing like 200,000. Obviously, when we get in more stores, but we're getting in 250 stores next month. But like we're gonna have to pay 200,000.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, but we know that, all right, once we sell, that's all gonna multiply.
I'm definitely interested in hearing a lot more about like why ice cream and all that. But for some background, right? So you leave the military, you start posting content. Why'd you start making content? I feel like that's also very, I don't want to say the military and Greek life are the same, but I think it's a very similar.
There's some synergy.
I think there's a very similar way of how that, how those worlds and those mini groups view people that make content. Right.
Yeah.
Like I imagine that a lot of people in the military, when you started posting, were like, bro, what the fuck? Like, this is cringy, like be a man, all that kind of stuff. Right.
Yeah, for sure. There was like 2 different instances that I can talk about, like in the military when I was posting content. So when I was in my first station, I was 18. I had an old account because I tried to be an influencer, quote unquote.
It sucks that word just has like, it just sucks as a word.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't make it deep like, I want to be an influencer, but I just wanted to share my journey. And I like to say creator though, because that could just mean multiple different things and
for sure.
Whatever. So I tried to be a creator when I was 16 to 18. Once I went in the military, I went to my first station and I had my account, only had 900 followers, but I posted quite a bit and it was like big in my school. It was called Shred Fonz too.
So it was fitness related.
Yeah, but it was purely fitness. It wasn't like how I do now where I post lifestyle or anything. It was purely fitness. So like, oh, this is the best back exercise and this is the way to grow your biceps. And that was cool, but it was very like, I was trying to be something I wasn't.
And it's funny because you were probably like the least fit of your entire arc back then.
No, seriously. Like,
whereas like now you post like anything and everything and you're the most fit you've ever been.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, at the end of the day, I was like a 17-year-old trying to like teach others game when it's like, all right, bro, like not to shit on 17-year-olds, but like you're 17, man. Like you've been working out for a year. Maybe you shouldn't be spitting advice. But yeah, I remember I went to my first station and I started posting again. And I didn't tell anyone though. So mind you, I'm 18 years old with 26-year-olds. I'm 28-year-olds as my bosses and 40-year-olds. And I didn't tell anyone because I was like, nah, I don't want anyone to know about this. But I would like go work out in our little gym and take videos. And one day someone found out, I don't know how, because I told one of my friends, I was like, yo, I got this fitness account, like, because he was into working out and I thought we were homies. And he went and told the whole station. And I was like, you motherfucker, bro. Because the next day my boss came up to me, he's like, so I heard you got this little fitness account, Shred Fonz, huh? And they just like started like making those little jokes like Shred Fonz. And I was like, it just like made me so uncomfortable, like, haha, yeah. And I ended up stop posting.
It's crazy.
So I was like, I'm a man now. I'm in the military. I'm saving lives. Like I can't be posting wanting to be this little influencer. Like, let's be real. And so I stopped. And also like after boot camp, I was skinny, I was bald. And like before I went to boot camp, I had long hair, I was tan, I was fit. So I was like, you know what? Hey, dreams died. I'm doing this shit now. Maybe I'm in the military the rest of my life, and that's all that it is. Maybe
you genuinely thought you might be in the military the rest of your life?
Oh yeah. Wow. No, for sure. I picked my job based on that too. Yeah. I thought I was like, okay, I'm probably gonna do 20 years. I don't know. It's like it was a safe bet. Everything was going fine, and my brothers are doing it. So I was like, you know what? I'm pretty similar to my brothers. I might just do the same. And one of my brothers is doing 20 years right now too.
It's a pretty crazy switch though, from going from maybe not the most physically safe, but the most like career-wise safe job you can get. Like when you're in the military, as long as you don't fuck up, like you have a job for life, right?
Yeah, you get a paycheck.
You have a paycheck for life. You have a pension. You have, your 401k equivalent, all these things in
Yeah,
the
you got
military,
health insurance, you got
health
dental.
insurance, and you say, I'm going to go quit this and travel and be an influencer or a creator. It's
Yeah.
a big switch up.
Yeah, no, for sure.
And so what were the final decisions that led to that?
So 2 years in, I started posting again because I left that station. It was a very just toxic environment station.
That was Humboldt.
Yeah, that was Humboldt. Very toxic environment station. So I got out of there, moved to Virginia, got another job, and I started working admin financial in the office. And I chose this because it's like, oh, if I'm doing 20 years, then I could probably do it as a financial guy, but I can't do it because I was doing search and rescue on small boats. And I was like, I can't do 20 years on boats. Like it was a firefighter schedule, working 2 on, 3 off, 3 on, 2 off, alternating weekends. And I was like, I can't do this when I'm 40 years old, but I can do financial. And also with doing this new job, I could work out, I could bodybuild because I tried to do bodybuilding in Humboldt and like I would just get shit on by my bosses and stuff. Like, you can't be working out. You need to go do colors, or you need to clean the boats, or you need to study. You need to be more qualified. And so I was like, all right, I need to get out of this environment and I can grow more. But I went, started posting, and I still got a little shit at first, or not shit, but just like a little skepticism. Whereas like I was editing my YouTube videos during work, and my boss would be like, "Come on, like you like can't be editing, blah blah blah." But I was like, "It's my lunch break. Like, who gives a fuck?"
Yeah.
But things started to pick up because I did a bodybuilding competition, and then I got a sponsor, and then that sponsor was paying me $500 a month, and I was like, "Oh, all right, like I could make some money." And then another sponsor started paying me $1,000, and I was like, "Wait, I'm almost making as much as I am in the Coast Guard here." And then I started doing online coaching, and then I started making more money than I was making in the military, and I was like, "Wait, why am I even in the military if I'm making $5,000 on coaching? I'm making $2,000 on the social media."
This is what, 3 years ago, maybe?
It's 2025. 4 years ago.
4 years ago.
Yeah, this is 2021. So I'm like, why am I still in the military working my ass off when I'm making 7K from this online coaching and social media? And in the military, I was making 3,500 a month.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I was like, what am I doing? And I was like, okay, like if I could just keep grinding this for the next year and a half, let's see where we're at and go from there. And in the military, you have free college after, and they pay you BAH, which is basic allowance housing. So wherever you live, they give you a stipend for how much your rent would be. So I'm like, okay, I'm kind of safe no matter which option I choose if I get out. And either way, I'm going to bet on myself to make it work if I get out. So
how important is, because I think I saw you, I'm pretty sure it was you make a video on this the other day, moving towns or like moving out of your hometown.
Yeah.
And how impactful that is on your, not only like personal growth and career growth, but just like enabling yourself to be around new types of people. How important do you think that is? Like, can you succeed in your hometown, or do you have to get out of your hometown?
It was funny. I was talking to a girl about this 2 days ago. And what we were talking about is, because she was like, yeah, like I went to college and I was so much more mature than other people who didn't go to college. And I was like, I don't think it's the fact that you went to college that made you more mature, because I really don't believe college makes you mature. But I think it's the fact that you got out of your hometown that made you mature. The fact that you took a leap out of your comfort zone and you're in a new location, new environment, you're able to be whoever you want, you're able to basically reinvent yourself. That's what made you change. It wasn't the fact you went to college. Even if you left your hometown and you're working a server job, then you're still going to grow because you're in a new environment. You're able to reinvent yourself. So I think that, I'm not saying you can't succeed in your hometown, but it's good for you to get out and experience elsewhere and reinvent yourself. And once you do, then you could come back. But it's like, Austin is a great city. So if you were born and raised Austin, and especially Austin is always evolving in itself too, you're able to grow with it in a way. But I think it's smart and healthy to, hey, let me go to New York for 2 years and see what's up, and then come back to Austin and regrow. But like in my situation, I'm from a small town. If I went back, the person I am now, there isn't even opportunity there to grow.
How do you look at Austin now? How do you look at it when you first got here versus now? Actually, real quick before you answer that, I don't know if you saw You see Susha's video a couple days ago?
Dude, I did. I was about to
he's
comment.
like yelling, all the people like yelling on the bridge and stuff. And I commented, I was like, fuck, I might have to get out of here after that one.
He was like low key right, but also like,
Yeah. How do you look at it now? Do you think you'll be here for good, or at least a couple more years?
definitely. It's funny. I was talking to someone the other day and they were like, yeah, you're going to be here a while or what's your plan? And I was like, I was just messing around. I'm like, dude, I want to be the mayor of Austin. Like when I'm 45 years old, I want
totally
to run
see
this
that.
shit. And I was like joking, but then like on the car ride home, I was thinking about it. I was like, you know what though? Like, why not? Like, why not me? Like at this point in my life, I'm building so much stuff, and who's to say in 20 years, then I'm not going to be accredited enough to run for the damn mayor of Austin or, some political position? Because I don't know, why not me?
Would
But
that
no, I
interest
love
you?
Austin. Yeah, definitely. I feel like in 20 years, I would like to be an influential position and change as much as I can, more than just social media. But I feel like, especially the way social media is heading, I'm always going to be around on social media. I think, like, even if I'm 40 and I have kids, like, I would like to be like Cam Hanes type of thing, where it's like still sharing my life, but not. It'd just be super raw and real. I'm not going to do any like low gimmicks to go viral. Just like I'm running a 100-mile ultra marathon, and come watch me, or raising my kids to build this barn together. Let's do it. Or plan is have a ranch in like Dripping Springs. I love the outskirts of Austin. I love Dripping Springs. I love
Is that
like
where
New Braunfels.
the BPN gym is that you posted that one
It's in
time?
a BPN gym. They're in Round Rock,
Oh, okay.
but their barn
That's sick.
is up a little bit north.
Mm.
Don't know if I'm allowed to say. Well, I guess other people have been. It's in Liberty Hill, which is like kind of buttfuck nowhere. But yeah.
That's interesting though, because I feel like, I don't know, this is what I got out of people's opinions. When I first started doing social media, everyone was saying, oh, that's not going to last.
Like Austin?
No, like just social media in general. People
Okay,
said that's not going to last. And I feel like that's so many people's still today view of social media and creating content. Oh, it's a short-term thing. It's a 2 to 3 year thing, max. And it can be, but the way I look at it, and I'm curious your take on this as well, is it's just like a normal job. I think most people, it's just like a normal job in that if you don't continue to provide value, you're going to get fired. I think so many people on social media, they start posting, they gain a following, they gain traction, they start making money, and then they get really lazy. And they think, okay, I got 100,000 followers or 1,000,000 followers. I'm going to stop posting. I'm going to stop innovating. I'm going to stop making new types of content that's entertaining. And then they fall off, and then they lose that entire source of income, right? But as long as you just keep being interesting, and as long as you're nimble and you can adapt to what people want, and you can, change your persona enough to the point where you keep people interested, then I feel like, yeah, it'll never go away.
Oh yeah, you have to evolve. Like the biggest key to keep growing on social media is you need to evolve it. It's not the algo. It's not, um, you're making bad content or you're not evolving. You're doing the same damn thing for the past 2 years. Yeah, sure, that worked for the first 3 months and you got to 100K because you're flexing in the camera, but people get used to your physique. No matter how crazy your physique is, people get used to it. Or no matter how crazy your advice is getting, like at the end of the day, people kind of just get tired of your voice.
Yeah.
So you need to evolve. I mean, I went from strictly bodybuilding, from just competing, bulking, cutting, and showing my tips like gym bro as fuck. Then I went solo traveling and I was only posting travel stuff, like, and then I went from creating this whole niche of like retro vintage cars, growing a mustache and weird little niche like that. And now I want to go into more business while maintaining that niche. But it's like in a year, I'm sure people are probably going to get tired of me talking about my business or me whatever, and I'll continue to evolve then, or maybe I'll do another business, or But I look at some of the people I came up with on social media, and I'm sure you can relate too, because you're kind of a little influencer. That
I guess. I don't know.
I guess, but people don't evolve, and like I don't know. You'll look back at the people that you kind of came up with, and like where are they at now? And you listen. The common denominator with all of them is they did not evolve. So
I fully agree. You have to evolve. I think there's a lot of examples of people who are great at evolving on social media. I think the Paul brothers are the best examples.
Mm-hmm.
They've evolved. They've had a crazier arc than anyone else on social media, in my opinion. And they've always stayed interesting versus like, you know, I like Alex Hormozy a lot, but like, I remember when Alex Hormozy was blowing up, and I'm going to have all these people coming after me now. It was super interesting. I was like, oh, no way, this is super interesting. And then it's like, okay, I get it, right? You know, and it kind of just got a little boring. But that's what he wants to do. And he's still bringing in new people and it's still working very well for him. So I'm not saying he's doing it wrong by any means, but you definitely do need to evolve. And I think also, I think a big mistake people make on social media is two things. Number one, they chase trends. Right? So like if you chase trends, sure, it's definitely the quickest way to blow up. You might get a couple 100,000, maybe even a couple million followers, but then people only like you for the trend versus liking you because you're Fonz or Squid or whoever, you know? So I think when you make content just about you and what you're interested in, and sure, you keep in mind, like, okay, it needs to be entertaining, it needs to be educational, or it needs to offer some sort of value. But at the end of the day, like, I'm just being me and I'm making content about what I'm interested in. That's not only how you really build a cult-like following, in my opinion, but you also just last. Like, if you're just chasing views and virality and trends, like, it burns you out, especially if it starts to die down. Like, there's so many creators I know who blew up for a couple of months and then their engagement died and they got crazy depressed, you know?
Oh yeah.
But the truth is, like, that's just how social media goes. You pop off for a couple of months and then you coast for a couple months and you pop off again. And if you're not willing to adapt or at least change your content at all, then it's not for you. But that's just like any job. It's like being a doctor. Like, if you just stop caring about being a doctor one day and you stop showing up to work on time and you stop caring about your patients and showing up, then you're going to get fired. I think people just think like, once I've made it on social media. And that's not the case. I think it's always a constant. It's constant work.
It is constant grind. I agree. If you're not changing, you're not growing. It will die off just like in any other job. I do think that one thing to be said is like, fuck, I lost my train of thought.
I want to talk about real quick on the topic of this, like changing personas or evolving.
Yeah.
So, you know, you were a part of Raw Dog for a little bit. I think that's why a lot of people, like, you blew up on your own and you had a big rise on social media. How many followers do you think you had amongst all platforms or across all platforms before Raw Dog?
Yeah, that was
500,000?
January 2024. I had 100K on Instagram, maybe 300 on TikTok, and 9K on YouTube. So 400,
Okay,
500K.
Nice. Yeah. So then you joined Raw Dog. For everyone who's not aware, Raw Dog was pretty, honestly, really cool concept to think about. Like, you know, in my opinion, running was kind of like, running was kind of gay. It was like, like running wasn't cool. And you guys kind of made running cool. And that was, I think, what the first podcast we did was titled.
Yeah.
It's like how they made running cool. And then all of a sudden, not that you guys invented run clubs, but you made it like fun and trendy. And that was a thing for about a year and a half. And they're still doing it. But it came a time when I remember we even had this conversation too. You were like, I think it's time for me to step away and go do my own thing. So I'm curious. I think there's a lot of lessons in there for other people who are maybe a part of a group right now and want to separate or want to, you know, change their content up. Like, what led you to make that decision? That's a big decision, like being a part of something that's going really well. And then saying, I'm just going to leave the group.
Yeah, that was probably the biggest decision I've made in the past year or two, honestly. Like, it took me months and months to do it. Like, I think I left in January, but I felt it in July, August. And I think one thing to be said is when you have a gut feeling from the initial start, it'll never go away. In business, about people, relationships, whatever it may be, but like, I don't know, like if you get into a relationship with a girl and you're like, like, you know, you caught a red flag and you're like, I don't really like that thing about her. That's probably never going to go away. Like, I'm going to tell you right now.
Never.
So
Never.
like, you know, if you, I don't know, you look at a girl and you're like, I don't really like how her eyebrows are. I don't like this. 2 years down the line, you think that it'll go away. And then 2 years, you're like, oh, you'll resent her, not because of her eyebrows, but like something about her personality, and then you'll
Mhm.
break up with her and be like, oh, like I never even liked this about her anyways. I don't know what the hell went wrong with me. But when I first joined Raw Dog, I don't know if a lot of people don't know this, but our first run club was without me. I wasn't a part of it. I was just there as like their buddy, but they wanted me to be part of it. But the single reason why I didn't was because I did not like the name and the like. I'm a very future thinking person, so I think if I get into anything, I think not just 1 year down the line, 2 years. I think like 5 years down the line, like where is this going to lead? This whole path, and I just saw it for what it's going for now. That it'll blow up, but it won't be longevity. Like we're not going to be able to collab with PacSun or Target, let's say. I don't know, big stuff like that. Let's say we ran into, because at one point we wanted to do coffee too.
Yeah.
Like we wanted our own coffee. So it's like, dude, Target's not going to want this thing that has Raw Dog on it. And I could be wrong, whatever. But I saw it for what it was, that it couldn't have longevity. So I didn't join that first run club. And they sold shirts. And I saw them like blow up within like, I don't know, 30 minutes to an hour. And they sold, forgot how much. I think they did like 500 or 600. But I was like, you know what? I'm kind of like, at the end of the day, it's just a silly little run club with my friends. And yeah, we're selling these cheap ass shirts from Mexico. Like, who gives a fuck? So, and I was like, I have the biggest social media out of them four. So like, I'm giving them a ton, like by going to these run clubs and reposting their stuff. So why am I not going to make a buck out of it too?
Yeah.
So that's originally why I joined, because I just like, it just made sense and it was fun. So, yeah, but I did not want to from the start, and like that feeling never left.
Mm.
And so when things not started to get hard, but like when more problems arose, that feeling just got even stronger, where it was like, well, from the start, I probably always had one foot out. But yeah, I mean, I think that's a big thing. Like if you have a gut feeling, it is never going to go away. But what led to me to like ultimately leave was I want to be in this game for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be
Game as in what? Social media, content creation, or what?
Yeah, I want to be in this social media, content creation, this I don't know, just game of being this figure.
You want to have some sort of influence.
Yeah. I want to be in this game of success for a while. So I needed to take another path, a professional path, because I'm creating this third space gym in Austin. And this is kind of what like really like cut the tie off it mentally for me, was like, okay, if I have people coming to this third space gym that's going to be very premium, I cannot have ties to this run club, because it's just very, I don't want to say silly and like knock it down like silly, but it's very, I don't know the word for it. It's just
Well, I think you also have to think about
disruptive.
There's you do have to align the businesses you're working with the audiences you have. I think that's the one thing that you were trying to say is like, you know, for example, I don't know too much about the gym. We could talk about that, but you know, I've heard it's going to be like a very, not necessarily exclusive, but like expensive, higher tier type gym, right? Can the people work? Can the general fans of Raw Dog afford a gym like that? Probably not. That's one thing that I even saw when I was like kind of sponsoring you guys for a little bit, was like the view. There was a ton of views and there was a ton of exposure, but like no one was really making any sales. And I think it's because like I realized at least like the type of person we're selling to is probably not going to the Raw Dog Run Club, right? Whereas like that also is a very valuable audience to a certain demographic of people as well.
Yeah, it was like the Raw Dog audience wasn't buying Haas, because like they're just two opposite spectrums.
Exactly.
And that's totally fine.
One is like the Equinox guy, and then one is like Free Spirit, you know.
Lift ATX.
Lift ATX. Exactly. Yeah, Lift ATX in a nutshell, for one word to describe it.
Exactly. Yeah. So I mean, I guess that's a good way to put it. Like the Raw Dog audience was like Lift ATX, and if I want to be like this Equinox, then I needed to separate myself from that as well.
Yeah.
Even if it was going great, and I mean it was going great at the time, and even if it was going amazing, I still doesn't align. So I had to pick one, and I'm gonna choose the thing that I'm truly passionate about, the thing that I'm all in, which is the gym and the space. So I just needed to cut that tie in. I think realizing and being aware of that takes a lot. but it's even more to actually take action and do it. So for anyone that is in a situation where they're not fully aligned with the vision, the goal, whether that's their job, their relationship, you have that gut feeling, follow that gut feeling. And it's one thing to be aware of it, or I think it's one step to be aware, but then the big thing is to actually take action and cut it off and believe in yourself at the end of the day that you're going to make that other thing work. And if you're fully aligned, I'm telling you right now, like that passion that you feel in the work just is so much stronger. You're way more productive. Like since leaving, it just felt like a weight off of my shoulder to be truly me in all ways, honestly.
Well, I think in order to fully like lean into what's important, you have to say no a lot, right? A lot of people don't understand that, and a lot of people are really bad at saying no. And I'm sure
I'm working on that too, honestly.
Yeah, everyone's working on that all the time, bro, all the time. But I'm sure you've had a lot of. I mean, you have a big following. I would say you have a very valuable following. I'm sure you've had a lot of opportunities that have come your way, whether it be getting sponsored by this company or working with this brand or partnering up on this product. How do you decide what's a yes or a no? Having that valuable audience that people want a piece of.
I think if it fully aligns with me, then that's all that matters. Like it doesn't matter about making a buck. It doesn't matter about honestly even the people running it. It's like if this product and the vision aligns with me perfectly, then I will be willing to spread that to my audience, and my audience will know me and know that it is so true to me. So like for example, I just got a recent partnership with Vivo Barefoot, and they're barefoot shoes that like you work out in, hike in, whatever. And they sent me product, and like we weren't even going to do a partnership. They just sent me product, and I was like, yeah, cool, sure, I'll take free shoes. And I just sort of ended up wearing them every single week and every day. And I was like, you know what? I mean, I just genuinely like this product. And we had contract negotiations, and I don't have an agent. I do all my negotiations, all my contracts, everything alone. And we ended up just not finding a right number. It was just too low. And I was like, you know what? I'll pass. Like as a creator, I need to hold myself at a high standard. And if I start dipping, then I start dipping for everyone. But then like 2 months later, I kept wearing them. And like I'm posting all these photos of them, and I got people asking me, "Oh, what's your code for that?" Or, you know, I love those shoes. And I'm like, you know what? Like I'm genuinely wearing these every single day. I'm just like, who cares? I might as well, you know, go with them. So I don't know. That's the way I look at it. And obviously, the people behind it do make or break a brand too. Like I've been with brands that the athlete manager was just complete shit, and that was my only point of contact. So that's how I know the brand. It doesn't matter if the owner is a great guy, but
yeah. So who all are like? Are you still working with Gymshark, by the way, or no?
I am, yeah.
Okay,
I am.
So what projects do you have your hands in right now? You have ice cream, protein ice cream.
Yep, we got Frozen One protein ice cream. Own that with 2 partners. I'm creating a third space gym members
What do you
club.
mean third space gym?
Yeah, so I mean, I only say gym just for simplicity of audience and people, because if I say members club, then people are like, is it a club? Is it exclusive? Can I have a day pass? Like, how does that work? So these are the amenities that it'll have, and you'll kind of sense a vibe. But it'll have a restaurant in it. It'll be blocked off, but like we'll kind of funnel people in and out of like, oh, you do a workout, hey, there's where your smoothie is. But we didn't want to put a cafe in the gym just because like, I didn't want like, we didn't want the smell of like salmon and fish to be lingering in the gym and creates this busyness, not really vibe that aligns. So restaurant, recovery center, meaning 20-person sauna, 20-person
big one.
steam room. So big ones, yeah. And I feel like that's nothing in Austin, I feel has that big, right? Yeah, so 20-person dry sauna, 20-person steam room, and like these would be premium, high quality. It's not, it ain't gonna smell. It ain't gonna, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some places be smelling.
Yeah.
But
big locker rooms?
Yeah, so I have locker rooms. But in addition, 5 cold plunges. So like 20-person steam, 20-person sauna, 5 cold plunges all in this room where it's just like back and forth. And co-ed, obviously. But so that'll be a whole like little center in itself, like great lighting, like it'll be like a dark sauna, but like underlit lighting, and everything will be very attention to detail. And that's one aspect. And then we'll have a state-of-the-art gym. I'm handpicking all the equipment. So everything is going to be very intentional. I'm not just going to get a preacher curl for the sake of getting this random preacher curl to match equipment. And in addition to that, we'll have co-working spaces. We'll have Pilates reformers. We'll have a flex room that we're kind of thinking maybe doing a yoga studio. And this is all going to
There's
be
so much money in yoga.
Yeah.
I definitely think from a business perspective, you guys should have a Pilates or a yoga studio in there. Yoga's probably the best.
Oh yeah. No, I mean, I love hot yoga. But one thing that we're honing in and focusing on, and I think that any brand owner or anyone trying to start their own business can take advice from, is focusing on women. If you get the woman in there first, guys will come. But if you get focus on the guys, women are not going to come. And I mean, different for your brand. Like, you're a menswear brand, fitness brand. Like,
for a gym, I agree, for sure.
But for a gym, yeah. Like
any sort of like in-person space, for sure.
Yeah. But that's one thing that we're doing. That's why we have Pilates. That's why we have yoga. That's why the equipment is going to be very practical. It's not going to be this big old crazy leg press that looks scary. No one knows how to use it. Like, it's going to be very intentional. But in addition, we'll have an outside gym too. That'll be more like Lift ATX vibes, where you can have your shirt off, you could have your shoes off, you could be primal. It'll have a sauna and a cold plunge out there as well. And then the rest of it will be like outdoor restaurant seating.
And will this be it'll be pretty expensive?
Oh yeah, multi-million for sure.
No, I mean like membership. Like, do you know what the monthly membership would be?
Yeah, so right now we're looking at $420 a month. So, and it's funny because like I tell people that I was on TikTok live and people are like, $420, you're fucking crazy, blah blah. And I'm like, buddy, if you can't afford it, frankly, you're the type of person I don't even want in the gym. Yeah. Like, as harsh as that sounds, as blunt as that sounds, like, and I hope you guys take that with a grain of salt. Like, I don't want people who can't afford that in there. And the people who can afford it will want to be there even more because they're paying that much money. They know it's valuable, and they know that there's other valuable people in there willing to pay that much as well. So it creates this high environment. I mean, it's like people want to be a part of Soho House because it has these other very high value people there.
You know me, bro. You know I'm the biggest advocate.
I mean, I know you're about it.
I made a video about it, got like 3 million views, and it was one of the reasons that the gym I go to blew up, you know, because like I'm not taking credit for their success by any means, but I got them like more memberships than anybody ever, I think, because I made a video saying, what the fuck, $400 a gym? That's crazy. I'm definitely going, you know? And so and it is a controversial topic, right? But my, I guess my question for you is, because I think it's a great idea, I'll probably get 2 memberships, right? If I'm still here in Austin when that comes out. But do you think that there are enough female customers for something like that in Austin? Because I definitely agree that there's a lack of maybe female or women-centered fitness centers, but there's not that many girls in Austin that make a lot of money. I think so. I think there's guys that make money here, but I was just talking about that with someone the other day. Like, if you're a young, ambitious woman, like, think about it from an economy perspective. Mm-hmm. Where are you going? New York. Maybe LA, maybe Miami. I mean, not even really Miami. Like, we're probably in New York if you're like a hot, young, ambitious
New York,
woman. I don't know that many like really ambitious women that move to Austin, but maybe I'm just in my apartment too much.
I think that it matters how much you value this experience or value this part of your life. Like, I think women in Austin make more than enough to attend and have a membership at this gym. Just a matter of how much they value it. So I think that, I mean, let's be real, like, a lot of girls here do tech sales or do sales in some way, shape, or form. And I feel like that's pretty good money. I think like definitely over 6 figures, which is more than enough to own a $400 membership. But it matters how much they value that, I guess. And I think most girls also only do Pilates. Like, it's like, I only have Pilates membership, call it a day. I'm not like a gym girly. But it's going to be more than a gym. It's going to have Pilates. It's going to have yoga. And that's all going to come with the membership too. It's not an extra money to do these Pilates or extra money to do this yoga. And they're also going to have this co-working space. They're also going to have this gym, but they're also going to have this big sauna and cold plunges. And it's going to have a very high stature environment as well, that girls will be more reluctant to be a part of rather than any other space in Austin.
Mm.
So I feel like if girls do have a gym membership, it might be Lifetime or Equinox, but that environment isn't going to be as good as ours, or their amenities aren't going to be as good as ours. So, yeah, and I think that I create the culture, and people want to flock to it essentially. And I think that also it's going to be a space that I don't want to say go viral, but it's going to be known in Austin. Like you think of Austin, you think of this space, or they're going to be correlated within each other. So it's honestly even going to be a driving factor to even move to Austin. I feel. I mean, I'm getting so many DMs a day. Like I'm going to move to Austin just for this space, just for this gym. So people that already are kind of on the brink from New York that are like, oh, Austin's cool, but it has some things I don't like or whatever. But once they start seeing this space gym grow, and you got Matthew McConaughey going to this gym, you got Joe Rogan, you got Chris Williamson going to this gym, and you're seeing this high value people that are all coming in and out. I think that it'll drive people to Austin in general. So
that's a great answer. That was a test, by the way, to see like what you're, because you're in business now, you're a businessman, you're going to be the face of this business. I wanted to give you like a little bit of a challenge.
How to do it.
And so that's a great answer.
They might not be here, but I would drive them here.
No, I feel like that's a very valid answer. And I actually, I will say without a doubt that when I was thinking about places I wanted to move, or when I think about right now where I would potentially want to move, one of like the first questions on my mind is like, what kind of gyms are over there?
Okay.
Like I was thinking about moving to San Diego in the next couple of months potentially, for a couple of months or maybe a year, and then I go to San Diego. I start asking around, are there any like really really nice fitness centers here? No. There's just like not really. There's like maybe
you
like
be going to the gym TG there.
There's just not that many options. There's like one nice one on the beach, but it's, if you're in PB, it's a good location, but there's just not that many high end. I really like a high end gym. I think it's totally worth the money. I think it's one of the best investments you can make, not only from like a enjoyment and fulfillment perspective, working out wise, but like network wise, it's amazing, right? And there's like not that many of those out there, which is really surprising since a lot of people have money out there, and San Diego is such a health and wellness centered spot. So I totally agree. I think a lot of people will come for just that. And I think if you guys do a great job, which I'm sure you will, at making it like this it place, then it's going to crush.
No, I'm literally saying like it's going to be the spot. Like it's going to be.
Do you have a name for it yet?
Oh,
or you can't talk about
don't. No, I don't even have a name for it. I don't even have a name for it, yeah. Which I'm trying to finalize this week, because I'm like, all right, we need to get this Instagram going. We need to start getting, maybe some early memberships going, and we need to really start doing branding, and I need to create hype for it within reason. I can't do it too early, but so we don't. So I have two partners on it, and one of them is kind of more like right-hand man with me. I'm the right-hand man, but he wants it to be very timeless, premium, older feel, but like he wants to like kind of basic. But he's open to changing it too. So we have one name, but I just find it very calm. And I'm like, dude, I can't really make branding out of this. Like, if we're gonna do a collab with, I don't know, some other
It needs
thing.
a sick name. It's super important.
It needs a sick name. Like it needs to have aura, literally.
Yeah.
Like it needs to have aura. Like I want to be like, oh, where are we gonna head after this? Oh, we're heading to so and so. Not like, oh, where are you heading?
Have you ever heard of Hume?
I haven't.
There's a gym in LA called Hume, and it's probably the coolest gym I've ever been. I'll show you pictures of that after. Maybe that'll give you some inspo for the name of this spot, but the name totally makes a difference. If you just called it like 24-hour fit or something like that, then you're not going to get, people will not sign up just for that reason.
Exactly.
So
I mean, it can only take you so far with it being cool, but like, I don't know. I need a cool name to be attached. Like, and that just helps it so much more. Like, I know you probably experienced that with Squid Hoss and Hoss changing your name.
Yeah, had to change it. Yeah.
Yeah. Like you had to be like, you have to create aura around this product and make people want to be a part of this community and feel like they're elevated by just being a part of it. But no, we don't have a name. I mean, I've been circulating a bunch of names.
It'll come.
Yeah, it'll come. But
what exactly is your role for this business? What's your role wait, real quick to go over it. So you have the gym, you have Frozen One, which is a protein ice cream company. Are there any other like major businesses that you have equity in that you're an actual, not just like a small shareholder, but like you could call yourself a co-founder of?
No, I'm not a co-founder at anything else, but I do invest in 2 other businesses right now too, and I help them on like I'm like their like kind of main influencer squeeze on marketing and stuff. So helping a lot in those ways as well, but not getting paid, but hoping for a big payout in 3 to
Yeah.
5 years. So,
That's how it goes.
but more things on the rise too,
Yeah.
like changes that will result in equity for me,
Nice.
if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I can't speak on it yet.
So, what exactly is your role in this gym and Frozen One? Because I remember the other day you were hitting me up, potentially looking for investors and stuff. I was like, oh, that's
Yeah.
cool that you're actually. At first, I literally just thought you were like doing social media and stuff for them because we hadn't talked in a while.
Yeah.
But it seems like you're pretty deep in the weeds.
Yeah. So with the gym, co-owner, but I mean, in both cases, honestly, focusing on my advantages, my strengths, which is marketing, community building, designing as well. So like I'm doing all the equipment designing, I'm doing like down to tiles, down to shower stalls, down to locker rooms, down to the lighting, and also leading all community, leading like promotional stuff. And he's handling more operations. Like he's talking to the architects, but then he'll relay it to me being like, yo, we got this. I'm like, extend that wall a little bit, or, make sure we have a big light right here, or make sure this window is right next to this dumbbells and things like that. But at the end of the day, he does like the final word and more operational side. And then with the Frozen One ice cream, same thing. I would say more like branding, creative director, but also still in the business of things and connecting and networking. So we're doing our first seed round for Frozen One, but I'm on every investor call. More than not, I probably bring us 80% of our calls, whether it's whether it's me directly or an extension of me from this spider web. But doing branding, social media, but like they're handling manufacturing. They're handling, like once I do bring in these people, I'm not like giving them any paperwork. I'm not.
They're handling the operations.
Yeah.
Nice.
So,
Gotcha.
which helps. But like, yeah, like I don't even know who. I'd never talked to our Well, actually, I just talked to him yesterday, but I just barely started talking to our manufacturer. We're going to a new distribution center, but I'm not going to have any contact with them. But it's kind of like I've learned in business, you need opposite spectrums of business partners. You need the operations guy, you need this creative guy, and like if you want a third for another one that's in between, then that works as well. But like you both cannot be like, I want to be on the pedestal. I want to be that top guy.
Yeah.
Because then you guys start butting heads, or if you're too similar, it just creates a problem. But if you're opposite and you guys both kind of have some synergy on some vision, that's honestly the perfect way. So like in both of these businesses, I have my like little opposite business partner.
Nice. Yeah, that makes sense. And I fully agree. I think.
Yeah, you think you and your Jake, right?
For what?
Haas?
No, Troy.
Oh, Troy.
Well, Troy and I are actually very similar in a lot of ways. But originally Troy, he really took one for the team, and he was like, I think I kind of just like took the CEO public spotlight role because I had social media and I'm a very, well-spoken person. I yap a lot. I'm always like people person. And so he kind of took on the COO role just to take one for the team because we needed a COO. But that wasn't really like his specialty. And then recently we got like the old ASRV. We pretty much took like a lot of employees from ASRV.
Right.
But one of them was like their old COO, and he's been amazing with us, and got like their old CFO as well. And so we have like some real experts in those positions now that really, really know what they're doing. And Troy has switched to more of like a chief brand officer role. So he's handling a lot of the product development, a lot of the branding aspects, but he's also helping with operations as well. So in a rare way, Troy and I are actually very similar for a lot of things, but we know what our strengths are and what our weaknesses are, and we lean into that. I think that's kind of like the main point you were trying to make there, though, is like know what your strengths are, focus on that. If you're the sales, like there's a great saying in any business, right? You can have like your great product guy, you can have your great operations guy, but at the end of the day, like even if you have an amazing product, someone has to sell. And selling is really uncomfortable. whether it's selling investors, selling new team members, selling the product itself, selling the vision. It's uncomfortable because you're just constantly dealing with rejection over and over and over. And the bigger you grow, the more rejection you have to face. It's not like it ever goes away.
Yeah.
So someone has to do that. And it's a very specific type of personality that can handle being rejected over and over and over, and almost like see the fun and the game side of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, you just like, one person's supposed to do that. One person's supposed to do
Yeah, and I think
more
like
of the behind the scenes.
not stepping on each other's toes too, because I don't know if I'm like, yo, I'm handling all this social media, I'm handling this branding, and then he's handling, let's say, manufacturing and operations, and he's asking me like, oh no, you should change that little thing and this little thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, I know this. I'm not on your side saying, yo, you need to change this little thing. I'm not micromanaging you, so like hop off of me. But I think like, yo, meet every week, meet bi-weekly and be like, hey, this is what I worked on. This is what have you worked on? And be like, you know what? I don't like that little branding on that. Like, let's switch that. And I'm like, oh, well, I thought of that. Here's my reasoning to why not. Whatever the hell. But
it's a great way of handling it, by the way. It's good that you give your explanation and your why for those types of decisions, instead of just saying, I'm the
like
brand officer.
I know what I'm doing and you don't, bitch.
It's very important. That's one thing I've realized over the past 2 years with my business. It's super important. And this is one thing that the ASRV guys have even like honestly coached me on, is they said, anytime you ever are telling someone, they said, from now on, Lucas, as the leader, as the CEO, anytime you're ever going to tell someone on the team what to do, tell them why. That way they understand if they actually don't do it and they don't go through, or they don't do it the right way, they understand what the consequences of that are. So instead of just going to your team and saying, yo, John, I need you to fucking spend 5 days this week doing this project, of course, right away, they're going to be like, why? That seems dumb. But if you explain it to them, I need you to do this because of this reason. And if it's not done right, then that's going to hurt this department and it's going to delay this next project, which is going to lose us revenue here. Now, all of a sudden, they're going to understand and be like, okay, well, there's a lot riding on this. I need to get it done.
Yeah.
So it's all communication as the leader, which you are in that position.
I agree with that. And leading by example, I think, is huge too. As an owner of anything, I get more inspired. You're more aligned with the brand vision if the owner is leading by example. Like with BPN, Nick Bear, he's leading by example. That fires everyone else up to be on their shit. Compared to if he would just barking orders and telling us to post this and, use this product. I'm like, well, like why? I don't even like it. It was like, I'm doing it myself. So
speaking of which, is he someone that you really look up to? And second part to that question, are there any individuals in particular that you really, really want to emulate in your life? That you're like, damn, like that is the goal, or that person is my inspiration?
When I started all this stuff, I didn't really have an inspiration in any of things, and my visions have evolved, and who I want to be definitely evolved. Like when I first started, it was off of this guy Shred Bundy, and that's why I named myself Shred Fonz when I was 16. And he was this traveling ripped guy, long hair, and
YouTuber.
That was it. Yeah, YouTuber. His name is Joe Delaney, Shred Bundy. People probably know him. And it went from that to then. Now I just take little bits and pieces from a bunch of people that I just admire. I admire this single trait from them. Like Nick, I love his, he's a leader. He leads by example. So I love that aspect. But I love to travel. I love to live a little life. I love to be more business savvy and get outside of my comfort zone, I guess. And then, so like, I love like my business partner and some stuff, Devin Levesque. I love his way where he is traveling. He's getting out, like, he's summiting Mount Everest. He's going to Antarctica. So I love that about him. And he's very business savvy as well. But, it might be some things I don't love. Or, I'm trying to think of anyone else off the top of my head. But yeah, so I feel like picking traits of leaders and making that into my own, and then adding my little simple niches too, where my self-improvement leadership skills, I guess, and other things that I'm sure I'll find out about myself. Like I love Jesse Itzler. He's very grounded to earth, like the way he posts and leads. And like, I mean, I don't know, he's what, 45, 50? Sorry, Jesse, I don't know how old you are.
Jesse? No, he's got to be way older than that, I think.
No.
He's got to be like 60, bro.
I don't think he's 60.
I think he's 60.
I don't think Jesse's 60. Maybe. Who fucking knows?
Yeah.
But I love the way he's going, and like that's who I want to be like. Let's say he's 55.
Mhm.
He still posts on social media, and like
Yeah.
I still get a lot of inspiration from his posts talking about his past and his journey, his career, and so like that's how I want to be when I'm that age. But like I don't want to be Nick Bear. I don't want to be Jesse Itzler. I want to be Ian Fonz in my own way.
I like it, dude. Pulling little pieces from everyone. I think that's the way to go for sure. You kind of carve your own path.
Yeah.
Are there any well, how do you split your time right now? Because you have a lot of stuff going on. You have multiple projects. You're also doing your social media. And social media, people don't understand, but social media is a lot of work. Or it can be, at least, if you're really taking it seriously. But you seem like you're also like fully living. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're traveling a lot. You're going to festivals all the time. Like,
Yeah. I think it's good. Everything that I'm involved in, I'm not doing alone. Simple as that. So, with my ice cream, with my gym, I have partners that are doing the operations, and I'm doing what I can do. But it doesn't require me to be at an office. So even with doing all my social media, that doesn't require me to be at an office. Of course, like it makes it easier if I can be in Austin. I can sit down at a coffee shop, do my work, whether that's editing videos, taking meetings, doing invoices, let's say.
Yeah.
But it's not a necessity. So if I can juggle it, then I will. And that's one thing I never want to lose is my willingness to take risks, to say yes to things, to basically live life as an adventure every day. That's one thing I never want to lose about myself in business, because I feel like people can get into that mindset of thinking, oh, I'm a businessman. Like I need to hunker down. Like I need to go grind mode and lock in and stay in my apartment on Fifth Street and not talk to anyone and get talking about my friend Lucas Pachter.
Yeah. But I love that though. That's the thing.
But there's people who love it.
I love that shit. And I feel like,
and I think I've done that already. I think that's why.
Yeah.
Like when I did my bodybuilding competition, like I didn't take a sip of alcohol. I didn't talk to a single girl. I didn't leave my place. I went work, gym. That was it. I didn't have social media at the time.
Yeah.
But like, I think I went through that grind of like isolating myself. And I was like, wait, I can do everything. And maybe it might be a little bit better to lock in, but like it's a part of my business to be living life.
Yeah, for sure. No, and I think that's great. It all just depends what your interests are. I think, I don't know, dude. I just love working, bro.
Yeah.
I have a lot of friends out here in Austin that like give me shit all the time, and they're like, bro.
I respect it though.
Thanks, bro. It's just fun, bro. It's just interesting,
Yeah.
So it all depends on like what your interests are, and you do a great job at balancing everything. And I think a lot of people say like, oh, there's no such thing as balance if you want to be successful. I disagree, right? It just depends what your version of balance is, right?
I really do. Yeah, because I mean, like, and like, I mean, if I go out, like, let's say I go out or I go to this festival or I go to travel, I'm not like I barely drink. I'm not like getting fucked up if I go out.
Yeah.
I'm still waking up at 5, 6 a.m. to go on my long run, or I'm still literally doing both.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm sacrificing sleep a little bit, but like not really. And I mean, that's maybe 1-2 days out of the week. Every other day, I'm like taking my meetings. I'm doing everything. I'm going to sleep at 9 p.m. So yeah, and I just love traveling. I love experiencing the world, and that literally just like opens, I feel like, neuron pathways for me to be more creative, to make more connections. It refreshes me. So
what was that thing you said the other day? You said every young person, something about travel. You just posted it.
Oh yeah, every young, like anyone who asks me, what is the one thing I need to do to be more successful, to change? Solo travel. Go to a random country. You don't know the language. You don't know how you're going to get around, how you're going to eat, where you're going to stay. And I promise you, your confidence will skyrocket. If you don't know yourself, you're not confident, go to a random country and you'll figure that shit out.
By yourself is crazy.
By yourself, though. By yourself. Like, you don't have a girlfriend to rely on to nitpick little things, or you don't have a homie where things get rough and you're lonely and you could, chat with him to relieve thoughts. Like, I've been in random countries where I haven't talked to anyone in like 3 or 4 days. Like, I literally did not open my mouth for 3 to 4 days because, like, I don't know the language. Like, I'll go to the grocery store, buy my food, and go back to my little hostel and go walk around, look at stuff. And I'm not like recommending that, but like it really taught myself to be comfortable with myself and confident in knowing I could go anywhere in this world. I could do any business. I could do any venture, and I can bet on myself and rely on myself to make it work. So I've carried that in my businesses and my social media into, also like kind of not caring what people think because I don't know. I just have all these internal thoughts and I'm comfortable with myself. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I think for anyone who's not comfortable being alone, that definitely is like the ultimate challenge for sure. I know that, and I respect it a lot because I know that I would never solo travel anywhere. I'm on a completely opposite side of the spectrum. I'm like, fuck. Well, if I do get the opportunity to travel, I want to do it with my boys.
Yeah.
Just because I don't do it too much aside from business travel, but definitely seems intimidating for sure. Especially, it's one thing to go solo travel like fucking Italy or it's one of the European places, but like
Yeah, like
to go
it's
to
one thing
South
just-
America or
Yeah.
Southeast Asia by yourself is crazy.
Yeah, like, okay, you solo travel Positano, like,
Yeah.
okay, cool,
Yeah.
dude. Like you were drinking
Everyone
Aperol
speaks
Spritz on
English.
the
Yeah.
like that's cool, dude. But like I solo traveled to Guatemala last year, and that's not like way out of the norm, but like, and I speak a little Spanish, so that helped. But I did 3 months at one point, and I was in Morocco, and I remember I was like, damn, like I don't know a lick of Arabic, and I'm just walking around, and like 2 days I didn't even talk to anyone. And I got to talk to one Irish student in my hostel, but other than that, like I didn't talk to anyone on the street. I just like whatever. And that was a little bit sketch. Like I was on this cargo ship ferry and I got family sleeping on the floor and I'm like chilling there with my iPhone and my headphones and people are just looking at me. I'm the only white dude with tattoos.
Was it ever intimidating? I mean, you were in the military, you know how to fight, you have like experience with weapons and stuff, but was it ever intimidating? Like there really is like no one coming to save you if
Yeah.
something goes wrong.
That's what I learned. Yeah. No one's coming to save you. Intimidating? No. I think that I always just like, if I got in any situation, like there was many, many times where I'm like, especially in Europe, I was drunk as fuck, 3 a.m., walking 2 miles home because like there's not an Uber in this country or whatever the hell. And I don't know. If I saw someone on the other side of the road, I'd either cross the road or I'd just look straight ahead. And I always like have like little pointers, like, all right, keep your hands out of your pocket. Already be forming a fist. Already be thinking, when you do pass him, look back real quick, or like little things like that. Or when you're walking alone, if you hear some footsteps behind you, look. Don't just act like it's not there.
Yeah.
And I mean, I trust that I'm a more than capable man. I'm sure it'd be difficult more so as a woman,
Dude.
but
I can't even
people still do it.
imagine. I have this friend who's
Yeah.
his girlfriend just took off for a 3-month solo trip by herself. And
Girls do it.
And we're all like, what the fuck, bro? Like,
I respect them. I literally,
dude, no,
so
that's
much
scary, bro. That's actually scary. Cause I was in San Diego the other day. I can't remember. I think I made a video about this. I was in San Diego the other day. Was out with my buddies. It's like 3 a.m, 4 a.m. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna just walk back to my Airbnb. It's a 20-minute walk down the street, dark street.
Where is this, San Diego?
San Diego. It was in PB, but like it's San Diego, bro. Like you don't think
Yeah.
San Diego is sus or sketch at all because it's not. But I'm walking back to my Airbnb. It's like a 20-minute walk, and it's pretty cold out. So my hands are in my pockets. I'm just walking, and I'm hammered, by the way, and I'm on like drugs and stuff too. So I'm just walking down the street, and there's like this big shadowy figure walking towards me in the middle of the street as well.
And you still had your hands in your pocket.
I took him out, and then, but I'm like, usually like out of respect, like you walk kind of far away from somebody else if they're the only people late at night on the street. And he just kind of like walks by me and I can't see his face. It's just like a dark shadow. He's wearing a hood. Big dude though, like 6'4", 6'5", hood on, late at night. And I walk past him and I'm like, I just got like this like
Eerie feeling.
eerie, horrible gut feeling. I've never had anything like this. I was in the Nice, France terrorist attack. I saw 90 people get run over by a truck, and I still didn't have a feeling as bad as I had in that moment. And I keep walking, and maybe after like 20 seconds, I hear the footsteps of him stop. And then I go, what the fuck? And so I keep walking, and then I hear him start again. But now he's walking towards me. And bro, I'm a big dude, bro. I'm 6'1", 200. I know how to fight.
Yeah.
I don't like to fight, obviously. It's always good to avoid it, but I know how to. Been in plenty of fights. And this dude's fully like following me. And I walk for another 5 minutes and he's still following me. And you might be thinking like, well, why didn't you just like turn around and face him one-on-one?
No, I would not say that.
In my head, I'm thinking, for someone to trail someone at 3 a.m, late at night,
There's a
down
reason.
multiple streets, there's a reason. I don't know who this dude is. I'm fucked up. Like, even if I can fight, like, I'm still really fucked up. Like, I was sauced, but I was able to know what was going on. And I was like, I don't know if this guy has a weapon. I don't know if this guy's like chlorophyll. He's going to put it in my face. Who knows? But bro was fully following me. I turn a corner. He follows me again down that corner. And I'm just like, oh my God, bro. Like, I pull out my phone and he's just getting closer and closer. I can hear the footsteps getting closer and closer. And it was actually like scary. I had like this horrible feeling of like, I know I can defend myself if it came down to it.
Yeah, you know
I
what
could,
to.
and like if it really came down to it, like I could like yell, you know, if like I was getting my ass beat or something. But like this dude wasn't just trying to beat my ass. I think bro is like, who knows? I don't know. But to follow a 6'1", 200-pound dude for about 10 minutes straight at night,
There's some motive.
there's something going on, right? And eventually I get to my Airbnb and bro's literally about 10 feet behind me at this point, and I just dart into the little alley that my Airbnb's in, and then he keeps on walking. But I've never in my entire life had a feeling where like my stomach was so low in my body like that, you know, as a metaphor. And I get in my Airbnb and I lock the door, and I like couldn't sleep because I was like, something really bad like almost just happened. And having gone through that, the next day I literally could not imagine being a girl in that position. That would be fucking terrifying.
But one
in another
thing-
country too, where there's like, bro, the U.S. is so like really so chill. Like guys like are so afraid of being like uncomfortable around a girl that if a girl even like says something, like a guy will back off.
Yeah.
But in other countries, bro, like imagine like in fucking India or something. Like that must be
I wouldn't say
scary.
India's, but like I would say more like Ecuador, like
Places
things
like that. Scary, bro.
But I would say girls are smarter than guys. So like if they do go out, they have pepper spray on them.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
We're like, oh, we're guys, we can handle whatever.
Fair.
But girls are like, they already know, or they have a little knife thingy on their keychain, or and they're very more aware. So they probably would have crossed the street. And you know what I mean? Like you were like, fuck it, I'm a guy. I could walk past this guy, and I already expect he's gonna move. But like girls are like, oh, I'm not.
I guess
even
they probably
give
just wouldn't walk home at 3 a.m. anyway. You know, like no girls thinking like, yeah, I'll just walk home at 3 a.m. But
yeah, they would have done something else. So I mean,
but that's what's crazy to think about being solo. Like I know that for some reason, if I got drugged or someone stuck a needle in my neck or something, like my boys are all going to be like, where's Lucas the next day? Oh, he's probably hungover. And then another day is going to go by. They're going to be like, oh, we haven't heard from Lucas in a little bit. Let's give him a call. And then another day goes by. And then people start actually going, okay, where is bro? Right. So about after 48 hours, people would be like, yo, when you're in fucking Guatemala, bro, like you're actually cooked. The cartel could capture you. Like,
no, yeah, it's funny because like I text my parents here now, then whatever. But like when I solo travel, I just don't really be texting people because time change, and I don't know. I'm just not really. And like it'll be a week or two before like someone will text me like, yo, like haven't seen you post in a little bit, or like what's good, and I'm like, yeah, no, I'm chilling, whatever. But like I could literally, when I disappeared, like I could literally disappear for 2 weeks and no one would even know because they think I'm all over. So it's funny, but I make it a fact. I mean, I make it an effort to do one solo trip a year, which I have not done this year yet. So I need to pick a place.
1 year, wow.
But last year was Guatemala. Year before was 20 countries. But so this year
20 countries last year?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
That was the year I just went 3 months and I just was every 3 days, dude.
What was like the most surprising one you went to that you really, really enjoyed?
Croatia. I don't know if you've ever been. Croatia. I loved Croatia. Dubrovnik, Split. Dubrovnik, there's one place that I find like, it's like one of the wonders in the world in my eyes. It's called Buza Bar. And everyone drinks on this, like, it's outside this, it's Old Town Dubrovnik, which is like a castle. It's where Game of Thrones was filmed. And everyone goes outside this castle. It's off of a cliff. And people are just drinking and jumping off a cliff. And it's like a big rock. And everyone just chills around, like kind of parties. And it's all young people. And you just got people jumping off rocks, doing flips, and there's a restaurant. It's like cliffside, and it just was like, and the sunset goes over the ocean right there, and it was just one of the best vibes I've ever experienced as a young 22-year-old.
Yeah, Croatia's sick.
Yeah, the best
I went there
water.
once, but I will say we went to Split. I walked into this bar with all my college buddies, and we this was like a year ago. and everyone was wearing white, and everyone looked really young.
Got
And
weak.
my boy starts like flirting with some of the girls there because he was a horn dog, and I'm like, bro, something's like not right in here. And he goes, what do you mean? Like the girls are hot as fuck. And I'm like, something. I go up to, I'm like, excuse me, like, why is everybody wearing white? They go, oh, it's a graduation party. We all just graduated high school.
Oh,
And then, yeah. And then 3 of my boys were like, we got to get the fuck out of here, bro. Like,
That's
this is
good.
hella weird. And one of my boys was like, no, let's stay. Fucking, he's like a fucking freak. But I guess like Split is where all the UK kids go. Like that's their Cabo. And we were going on their Cabo weekend type thing.
Yeah.
So
I don't even know.
I should have gone to Dubrovnik though. I've heard great
Dubrovnik's
things
better,
about that.
for sure.
And then is there any country that you really, really want to go to that you haven't had a chance to yet?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that this year. Peru. Hear great
Really?
things about Peru. Just has the best of all worlds. So I think that's a place I'm gonna solo travel this year. Like hike Machu Picchu. Has like the sand dunes. You'll probably see people like snowboarding in the dunes there. But then Machu Picchu, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So and then like other just great hikes and things like that. But like I think that, and I mean I want to do Vietnam as well. But I just went to Bali and Tokyo like earlier this year, so I'm kind of like Asianed out right now. So
Asian out. Hell yeah.
But
Sweet, bro.
it's just too far.
It is far. What about you've been to Australia before, right?
Yeah, I went to Australia.
What do you think of
also earlier this
Australia?
year. Oh, I loved Australia.
I've always wanted to go.
Australia has the most beautiful people in the world. Like I don't even say girls because guys are handsome as fuck there too. And I'm like it's funny. My buddy, he's like 6'4". Most of them are actually New Zealand. They're all Kiwi. That's one thing that you'll notice in Australia. But he's like one of the most handsome devils I've ever seen in my life. And he got like this new girlfriend, and she's like the cutest LA girl I've ever seen in my life. And I'm like, you know what? Like I would be jealous, but like you deserve it. Like Australians are so cool. Like the banter there is amazing too. Like they just have like dirty banter where you could just like talk about like sex in a joking way or talk about anything, and like the girls will rebuttal with something even dirty, and you're like, oh, whoa. Like
there's no like there's no what's it called that they have? It's in the US everywhere. People are just a lot more light out there.
Yeah.
That's what I've heard.
No, yeah, like I could say a joke and
people aren't offended.
Yeah.
Stuff.
Yeah. People have a thick skin.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, like I'll make a joke here and like an American would be like, oh, like that's weird. You're a weirdo. Like not ever going to see you again.
Yeah.
But there it's like, ooh, like, all right, this American could get down. Beautiful beaches. People are super nice and everyone is fit. I don't know why everyone's fit there. I mean, obviously America, we have this like obesity problem. I don't even know about much more, but
in the coastal areas of the US, like, San Diego and Miami and stuff like that, Tampa, people are very fit. And I feel like in Australia, people only live on the coast. And it's like, if it was perfect weather all the time and you're right on the beach, why would you not be tan? It'd be like a crime to not be tan and fit.
Yeah. But they're like just obsessed with activity and fitness. So I love that aspect.
Did you ever move there?
That's I was about to say the only thing wrong, they're so fucking far. It's like if you're in Australia, you're only in Australia.
Yeah.
Like, and you're damn near a day ahead. Like I just could not even communicate with anyone in America. Like I would have to talk to them at 12 a.m. and it was, a weird ass time for everyone else. So like it's just not good for business, not good for social media.
Yeah.
It's just a smaller market there. And even like with the brands I've worked with now, they don't even want me to be in Australia. I remember Gymshark told me like, because I went and I loved it and I was like, oh, I'm gonna move to Australia, like just fucking around. And Gymshark was like, jokingly, they're like, don't move to Australia. Like we don't want you to move to Australia. Like you wouldn't be an athlete, but like I got that vibe. Like you would probably get dropped if you moved to Australia.
You don't even need them though. I mean, it's like nice and it's cool to have, but like,
But I just think America is like this business powerhouse.
For sure.
So.
Yeah.
But love Australia. Love the women there.
Nice. So yeah, that was gonna be my last question is like, how are you looking at girls in your life right now? Are you looking for the one? Are you just taking it day by day? Do you feel like, because this is a question that I ask all of the entrepreneurs that I have on the every entrepreneur that I have on the podcast, I ask them,
what do you think is the consensus of like, do they want this driven girl? Do they want this?
That's a good question. So
cheerleader.
Oh, I mean, I'll answer that one second half, but the first thing that I hear from almost every founder / entrepreneur I have on is probably the opposite of what like the Gen Pop would think, which is, you know, when you become more successful, you have more options. That's what most people would assume.
Mm-hmm.
I completely disagree, and most of the people that I have on the podcast disagree as well, because when you become more successful, you didn't just become successful by chance, right? It's because you were very disciplined. It's because you said no to a lot of
You
people.
have a higher standard now.
You have a higher standard, right? And so, sure, if you make more money as a guy, you become more famous, you get better looking. If you become more successful as a whole, your aura increases, right? If you become a better man, sure, you will have more options in terms of quantity, but the quality actually goes down. Like
Yeah.
you become much, much, much more picky. I'm getting more DMs than I've ever gotten in my entire life. And for an entire year, I just wasn't interested in like anybody really. And then I've been talking to someone over the past couple of weeks who I'm super obsessed with, right?
Really?
But it was a long time of literally just being super picky and super, yeah, just holding your standard and not getting distracted and not letting those distractions take your energy. But to answer your question of like, do people want the ambitious girl or the stay at home, the cheerleader? It's a pretty 50-50 mix of both, honestly.
Yeah, depends on the
Depends.
person.
What do you want?
I want the teammate. I want the ambitious girl. I want the independent. I want the driven, the passionate. And that's just me. That's just my morals, my values, what I was raised on, I guess. Like my mom is a hard worker. That's what I saw, and my mom was never on her ass or asking my dad to buy her this Gucci bag or do any extra stuff for her. If anything, she was helping my dad more. So that's, I think, what I saw growing up and what I kind of hold myself to, and what I was taught too is just like not that a relationship is 50-50, but like, yeah, you're going to be the man, you're going to be the provider, but she's going to provide in her own ways as well. And I just, like I said on a podcast recently, but I just hate seeing a girl that gets with a man purely because he's successful or he provides and they add nothing to the table other than when he comes home after a long work day, then they hang out.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like, there's so much more. Like, I said it like this. In a relationship, we're just two organisms and we're just doing our own thing and we meet up in the middle. And that's all that it is. And then we go back to work and boom, we separate our days, which is why I think at this point in my life, like I would enjoy having like a long distance relationship, which I wouldn't before. Like, not saying I prefer it, but, or like, I would not in any case want to move in with a girl right now. Like my buddy's moving in with a girl this week. And I'm like, I would, like, no matter how much I loved her, we need space. I'm doing so much every day that even when I do hang out with a girl, even if I do go on a date or if I have a little situationship here and there, it literally decreases my productivity. And not saying it's her fault, but it's more, and I'm not saying it's like my fault either, but that's just the nature of it. When you have someone else that you need to give your attention to, your energy is going to be taken away. And so it's going to just honestly lessen everything. But I do feel like if you find that partner that is doing her own thing and you guys meet when you can or meet when it's just fluent, then you can still continue to increase on your path.
Dude, I fully agree with everything you just said. And I'm the exact same way. So, and it's hard because there's really not that many girls out there like that. But it's also not supposed to be easy. That's the other thing is like, I think some people are like, why can't I find the right girl? Whatever. Who said it was? Why is finding the one, if that is a thing, why is that supposed to be easy and come light? Like that's the ultimate prize in life, I think. I think that's why a lot of guys, I assume it's the same way for me, but I assume one of the reasons you want to become super successful and, you know, really put yourself out there and take risks and try as much as possible and stack up your treasure chest of lore is so that you can get like the ultimate life partner, right?
I mean, life partner, but also like just family in general. Like I want to be this, you know, with my kids, with my partner. Like I say like I'm building the bricks for a home right now for my family to live in. So I think that I don't know. It's hard though. It's hard finding a right partner right now, especially not even as a person. I am the person that many people are, it's hard to find people that connect on every level. Because like for me, it's hard because I'm like, okay, well, she needs to be active, but specifically she needs to be a runner, not a runner, but like at least run a 5K. Um, but then she also needs to be like
Why?
business savvy. Well, okay, this is why I
Because of
say,
your interests or what?
well, I don't see myself never not running. So if I'm spending 2 hours out of my day every day on an average running, that's 2 hours away from her. And if I'm already working, let's say 6 hours on average on a day, okay, well now that's 8 hours without her every day. So, and if she's going to be doing her own thing, who's to say that when I'm free, then she's busy? So if at the least that we can share a morning run together for an hour a day, and that's all that it is for maybe 3 or 4 days out of the week, um, excluding the weekends, then like cool, then that like works. So, but if I can't even share some hobbies with her, then I don't want it.
No, I love that. I was just curious. I was curious what your answer to that was, but that's a
Yeah.
great answer.
But I mean, at the same time, I see the other hand of it where it's like, oh no, I run. That's my alone time. That's my time away. But no, I'd rather share every journey with my partner. And some people say like, oh, well, you're traveling. Like, how are you gonna have a girlfriend if you're traveling? Like, dude, well, that's gonna be my partner. Like, that's gonna be my ride or die. She's gonna come to Vietnam and ride the bikes right next to me. You know, if we're in Peru, she's gonna be snowboarding down the dunes with me. We're in Egypt, she's riding that camel next to me. And you know, like, I don't want her just being on the sidelines and taking the little photos of me or, cheering me on. I want her to be a badass in her own little way.
Would you be okay dating someone that was more successful than you?
Yeah, definitely. I got that. I got a couple like DMs recently because I did it on a podcast and I was saying I love independent, driven, passionate women. And so people were like, wait, but every time I do meet a man, then they're intimidated by me. They don't want to continue because I'm better than them, frankly. And I thought about it and like, you know what? My first initial reaction was to be like, wait, I'm intimidated too because she's better than me. Or, especially in my way, like I never went to college. So if there's a very intellectual girl and like book smart, it kind of maybe my first reaction is to be intimidated if she's, very articulate. But I look at it as a way as like, whoa, like I respect you, and like me looking up at her like, whoa, like you're this smart goddess and whatever. And then at the same way, like I'll be this, travel business guru that maybe she doesn't have, and she's gonna look at me like, wow, this is this man that is so, experienced and smart in this way, but I'm smart in this way. So back to the thing, two organisms meeting up, have our different traits, values, and strengths. And yeah, no, if anything, I feel like I will respect it and that'll make me fall more in love with her because she's so different and strong in the ways that I'm not.
I love that, dude. I think maybe like 90% of guys they feel the opposite. And I think it's purely out of, I think it's rooted in insecurity.
Yeah.
Some guys want to have power and they want to have control and dude, yeah, I think
it's a human nature trait as a man to want to be the man in every single way. But if you're comfortable,
it doesn't mean that you can't be the man and provide if they're making more money than you or they're more famous than you or whatever, right? But it shows that you have a lot of confidence and you're very secure in yourself, that you're open to that and maybe even interested in that, which I respect because I agree.
Yeah, no, I can't even have it.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah, hopefully people got a taste of those advices.
Yeah, man. Well, what's like next? What are you most excited for right now? Is it opening the gym, or is there any other like excursions or things you're working on that you're about to launch?
I think next running New York City Marathon. So that's like November 2nd.
Okay.
So that's here in a month. So that's pretty huge for me. And then I think that I'm going to Dubai. So that'll be huge. And then I'll probably go off of there and solo travel. So like I was thinking Egypt because like on my goals list, I make a goals list every single year that I am prideful and that I stay true to and accomplish, was to ride a camel in front of the pyramids. I mean, not a camel, ride a horse in front of the pyramids and have it like bucking. And I'm like, hell yeah.
I know exactly what picture you're thinking of as your inspiration. Yeah.
Yeah. I saw that. I was like, that's badass. Yeah. I need to do that shit. But yeah, Dubai. And then joining a new business here soon. 2 new businesses maybe. And I don't know, I feel like stuff changes every 3 months for me. A new venture, rises and I don't know, doing a bunch of new things. And then when the gym should be open in March. So it's really starting to pick up some traction now. We just got done with demolition. We're doing plumbing, concrete, and then like I'm ordering equipment this next week. Going down to Houston to go visit some in-person equipment, and so like things will really start to get filled out. So that's exciting, and I just can't wait for all the building blocks right now to build a house next year, type of thing. Finishing the round for Frozen One, and we just got into 250 new stores, Central Market, Bristol Farms in LA. Working on Target, so like if we get into one big one, then it'll explode. So I feel like I'm literally kind of on the brink of like falling over the edge into a new realm of just wealth and respect and professionalism.
That's exciting, dude.
So
it's cool, and it feels like years of hard work is like finally coming together.
Yeah, definitely. Like I feel like it came together last year just in a different way, but now it's like growing into generational longevity success.
Nice.
So
hell yeah, man. Well, I appreciate you coming on, bro. This is great.
Brother, thanks for having me. I hope we had there's been a lot of changes since the last podcast. So if you guys tuned in, would love to hear you guys' feedback. And
yeah, I'm gonna link all of Ian's stuff down below. If you guys don't already follow him, check it out. And thanks for watching.
Cheers.